The ancient meditation masters have told us to breathe up and down our spine. And they told us to do this first to make sure you were taking full breaths of air. And second, they told you to do this to make sure that your chakra system was being cleared. And the chakra system is the very important center of our body's energy system. And third, if you have a lot of implants, it is the easiest way to inhale. If you ever have many implants around your sinus area or your cerebellum or in your trachea, breathing up and down your spine is the easiest way to inhale. And that is very important. But half of this crucial process has been left out. Your breath and your lungs are the driving engine of your chakra system. So your lungs will fill up with this plasma energy very quickly, especially if you only breathe up and down your back. So a great deal of plasma will start to well up in the front of your body, in your chest and lungs. So you're going to need to clear your lungs by breathing up and down the front of your body, and not just breathing up and down your spine as they teach in traditional meditation. So of course you use your U breath, like always, to do this. Only now you start at the front of your face, breathe down your throat, down into the front of your body, down into your chest, all the way into your pelvis, inhaling until you cannot inhale anymore. And then when you start to exhale, then you lift for 2 seconds by creating that suction with your tongue on the roof of your mouth like you were swallowing a drink. And then you want to lift the plasma out of the front of your body. So you want to lift from your lung area. And at other times you will lift from your pelvis area, or you will lift from your stomach area, or you will lift from your throat area. Wherever you feel that implant forming, wherever you have a buildup of plasma, is where you want to lift from. Just remember to take the fullest breath you could take. That's what gives you the most power to do this, is the deepest inhale. So if suddenly you feel like you have a heaviness of breath, like your breath has been taken away, you need to focus on clearing your lungs. Now when you're first starting out, everybody's going to have a buildup of plasma around their chest and lung area. And you're going to need to work to remove all of that. So to remove an implant anywhere in your body, it is important to apply pressure to that area. You're going to need to put some weight onto that area. That's what isolates the implant, kind of pins it down, then allows you to begin to remove the implant by pulling it out of place. It's kind of like when you go outside to pick anything up. You're going to need to stand over it, put some weight on it to grab hold of it, and then pick it up. Same thing with an implant. You're going to need to shift your body's weight onto that implant before you pick it up. So I've developed a series of simple meditation positions that enable you to put pressure on implants that are formed all over your body. Alright, so let's go over the positions of meditation, and they are very easy to learn. First, let me say that it's best to lay on a flat, hard surface. And you might want to get a mat or a blanket, but just lay on the floor, because what the floor does was allow you to put more pressure onto the implants. In the first meditation series, Energy Lifts and Frequency Shifts, I reported that laying flat on your stomach face down with your legs out in a prone position is the best way to pull the different implants out. However, this puts a lot of weight on your chest and lungs, and when you're first starting out, this could get uncomfortable at times when you have buildups of implants around your chest area. So while laying flat on your chest, you could extend both legs, but then you turn the lower half of your body so your weight is on your left or right hip. So your body's kind of twisted like this. So you can put your weight on your left hip, or you can put your weight on your right hip. And if you lay on your right side, you're going to put pressure on the right side of your neck and spine. So if you lay on your left side, you're going to put pressure on the left side of your neck and spine. Whatever side is pressed down against the surface is the area that you're pressing down on, and that's the area that you're going to lift from, wherever you're adding the pressure. And then by pressing on the implants and then using your U breath to pull them out, you can remove them along your neck, spine, and inner shoulders. So it really isolates that area. So from the leaning positions, you can also put pressure on implants in your cerebellum area on either side of your skull. And that is a big place for implants to form. And since your chest is also pressed down against the surface, you could also clear implants that are formed in the front of your body. And the next position is the side. And very easily you just turn your body all the way so you're on your left or right hand side. And all the weight goes on your leg, your hip, and your shoulder, and you're taking the weight off your chest. So the side position is good for pulling implants out of the sides of your body, all the way into your thighs and legs. So on your sides, you want to keep your body as straight as possible, putting the weight on your shoulder and hip. So you will keep your lower arm, your arm that is against the surface, elbow bent, and underneath your head for a support. And you probably want to use a pillow to put between your shoulder and your head for support. And this kind of keeps your neck in line and keeps your head off your shoulder. Then at other times you could extend your elbow all the way. And again, use a pillow because this keeps your neck in a straight line and also supports your head. So just try to keep your head and neck in a straight line with the rest of your body and breathe fully up and down your spine. Next is back or supine position. When you lie on your back, you're putting pressure on implants that have formed in your back and you're relieving pressure on your front. So after meditating in a prone position for a while, you can always turn your back to relieve the pressure on your chest while putting pressure on implants that have formed along the back of your body. So your back is also very good at clearing implants that have formed in your shoulders, neck, and sides of your head by breathing deep and lifting from those areas. So basically just get used to using all these different positions to add or remove weight onto different areas of your body where implants have formed. So you will begin to develop a sense on your own what position to get into depending on what is happening and what implant you are trying to remove. Just know that whatever side is pressed against the surface and holding your body's weight will press down on the implants the most. So the best way to meditate is to rotate from one position to the next, because it's not good to favor one side. This allows the plasma to be removed from every part of your body. So you will spend 2 minutes on your front, then 2 minutes on your left side, then 2 minutes on your back, then 2 minutes on your right side, and then 2 minutes on your front again. So you want to rotate from one position to the next. And when you get more used to all of this, you may go from side to side or from front to back, depending on what you're trying to clear. Yet rotating positions is a good way to start. The only time rotating is not good is if you are being attacked and are experiencing a hot implant or a painful implant that is usually in the chest, and it hurts to put weight on it. When you are first starting out, a lot of people have implants that have built up in their body, especially the ones in your chest. And if you put pressure on it, if you lay flat on your chest and your lungs for too long, a heat sensation will occur, and also you'll get a shortness of breath. When you get more used to the feeling, you're going to be able to put more pressure on them. But when you're first starting out, you don't want to put a lot of pressure on these implants in your chest and lungs. So let's talk about the hot zones, or these implants that get hot or cause shortness of breath. And implants are not always round knots that you can detect easily. Implants also develop like masses of plasma that begin to form in one area of your body and often take the shape of that area in your body. So you don't know that you have an implant there until they turn the machines up to high. So when they turn the machines up to high, the area will often get hot. It will get painful and get this real hot sensation. And when you get them in your chest, they'll cause difficulty breathing. So these implants have stayed dormant for as long as the military has kept the machines on low. Yet now that the machines have been turned on to high, the plasma implants are now activated, and the large stream of incoming plasma directed into you hits you in those areas and causes even more pain and discomfort. So if you're lying down, sometimes it's best to shift your weight off of the implant. If you have an implant in the left side of your chest, kind of shift your weight so that you're leaning on the right side of your body. If you have an implant in the right side of your chest, you kind of want to shift your weight off of that so you're leaning on the left side of your body. And if you're having a lot of trouble, which happens especially when people are first getting started, all you want to do is get into an elevated position, which takes the weight off your chest completely and allows you to put pressure when needed onto the implant by leaning on it. And all you do is you bring your knees up so they support your body's weight. And they should not be directly under your upper body, but on each side. And then you place your feet in a comfortable position out like this, where they're not being flattened by your body's weight. And then by using your arms and legs, you could take the weight off your chest and head. You want to keep your back and neck as straight as possible by resting your head and chest on a flat, thin pillow, and your arms will be up around your head for support. So as you can see, my back, neck, and head are kept in a straight line. My upper body is close to the surface, but elevated slightly to keep the weight off my upper body and chest. So your upper body is elevated a couple inches off the surface, and the weight is on your legs and on your arms. So the elevated prone position is good for removing implants in your chest and even your face area, because you can lean forward, and then by shifting your weight onto the implants, you put pressure onto the implants, and then you could work to pull them up. But if they begin to get hot or cause difficulty breathing, all you have to do is put the weight back on your legs. so you could add or remove your weight as needed. And that is an important position to be in, often when they're hitting you with high streams of energy and they're attempting to attack you. So putting pressure on a hot zone or an implant is very important. But if that is too painful, take your weight off of it and just breathe in deep, trying to use your U-breath to pull up a little bit at a time. So I imagine breathing into the hot area is like dropping a fishing line into a lake. The more you inhale, the farther the fishing line goes into the water. When you cannot inhale anymore, you have hooked an implant, and then you want to pull up what you've caught by pulling up with your U-breath for 2 seconds. As you exhale up, focusing on sending that plasma up toward the very top of your head. So you do this by dropping a hook or breathing into a hot, painful area, removing a little plasma at a time, and reducing the buildups in that area that are causing the most pain. And after a half hour or so, the pain will subside. Yet when you put your weight onto that implant, when you add pressure onto that implant, it's the same thing as taking a large fishing net and throwing it onto a school of fish and being able to pull up a lot of fish all at once. And after a while, you get more used to the hot sensation, you'll know what to expect, and you can put more weight on it. So if you have not meditated before, chances are that you have developed hot zones in your body. And you can feel these the most in your chest, back, shoulders, and neck. So when you first start out, you are going to have to spend some time clearing that area out. But then if you designate a few hours every morning to removing all the new implants, you will not experience these painful attacks too often anymore. So the truth is that agents will use their implants connected to you to make every position seem uncomfortable or counterproductive. So they'll reverse the energy onto themselves and then use these implants to cause pain. So know that when you're on your sides, an agent with an implant in their neck or inner shoulder could put pressure on that implant and make it difficult. When you're on your back, agents may apply pressure to implants in your face and sinus area. And when you're on your front, they may press down on implants in the back of your neck and upper back to put pressure on your trachea. And they'll make it seem like taking a breath is difficult. So they'll make every position seem uncomfortable. You're just going to have to deal with it. And you'll get more used to it over time. And if they start pressing on an area, you'll learn just to press right back on their implant. And they dislike it even more than you do. And the next position I want to discuss is the traditional position. So you want to sit almost Indian style. Yet both of your knees should be placed flat on the floor. And you want to sit up very straight so that all your weight is pressing down on your pelvis and base area. There is a large triangular shaped bone at the end of your spine, and that is called your sacrum. And underneath the sacrum is called your coccyx bone, which is also called your tailbone. And that is down at the way end of your spine. So when you're sitting in the traditional meditation position, you want to sit up very straight so that all your weight is pressing down on your pelvis and your tailbone. And then you want to breathe all the way down into your pelvis area and try to sense your sacrum and your coccyx bone. And you want to use the U-breath to lift from that area. And last is standing. So it helps at times to stand up during meditation and continue with my deep breathing U-breath exercises. I would go for a short jog to the top of this hill. And while it's still winded, trying to catch my breath, I would close my mouth and use the U-breath to breathe up and down the sides of my head, starting in the upper corners of my skull and breathing down through each ear, into my neck, and into my shoulders. And then I'll lift from all that area. And I would be able to get a lot of these implants out very quickly. So after some more practice, I got more used to running, and I'll just keep my mouth closed the whole time and use the U-breath the whole run. So I would recommend meditating for 5 hours a day. First thing in the morning when you first get up, especially if you're getting hit a lot. And this will get all the implants out of your body and prevent new implants from forming. Otherwise, these hot zones can always be used to hurt you. So I would go to sleep around 8 or 9 at night and then get up around 2 or 3. And then I would meditate until around 7 or 8. And during this time, I would do some yoga. I would get some exercise like going for a run. After an hour or two, I would take a shower. I'll take a couple of breaks to grab a drink or something quick to eat. And I took photographs of myself before and after. And I look younger and healthier and have more energy for meditating than when I did when I would sleep for 9 or 10 hours a night. So I found it's the easiest if you designate 5 hours every morning to meditating.